I was at a party like a couple weeks ago, and Steiny was there, and Steiny was just like, wait a minute, dude. You're totally sober? And I'm like, yes. I'm like, I'm smoking a little bit of weed, but I'm sober. And he's like, damn, that's crazy. I'm like, really? Yeah, it's like totally normal to me. And I'm like, bro, like, I'm like a mile from my crib right now, and it's like midnight. Yeah. Like, if I was drinking right now, yes, I would be a little bit more in the moment right now, and I'd probably be enjoying my conversation with you more right now, and maybe I'd be a little bit looser and giving you more of a real version of myself. But, you know, it's like I just know how I'm going to feel going to bed. I know how I'm going to feel sleeping. I know how I'm going to feel the next day. It just doesn't really feel worth it to me at this point, you know? It's not worth, the juice isn't worth the squeeze. Like, what you get out of it for not. Yeah. How long have you not been drinking? 2019, New Year's, I got like Molly, Coke, alcohol, whatever. Had like a 2-day hangover, and by the end of that hangover, I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm not really. And I have not put a drug on my nose since then. Although I've drank. I'll get drunk like a couple times a year, usually on average. Like this year, I think I've probably been drunk like 3 or 4 times, which is kind of a lot for me. Like the year before that, it would have been almost 0. And you won't touch psychedelics or anything like that? I could probably definitely be convinced to do that. Yeah, I've had a lot of great psychedelic experiences, and sometimes I feel like I didn't push it as far as I should have. Like I should have just done more, and like kind of still to this day, like I was listening to this podcast last night from this dude who basically started like the coolest BMX brand from my childhood, Animal. And he was talking about how he started Animal because he got locked up for 4 days for grinding some ledge. He gets out, he takes mushrooms, and when he takes the mushrooms, he just has this realization that there wasn't, and this is like the late 90s, he had a realization that there was no BMX brand that was like 100% focused on street riding, which sounds kind of crazy now because like street skating and street riding are like the biggest genres in that thing or whatever. But I was thinking how like that is the kind of epiphany that you can have off of psychedelics is like there's this opportunity that is right in front of me, and it's so obvious, and because my brain is so cluttered up with my day-to-day life that I've just been missing it. And like I feel like that I've had that experience where I've taken acid and just sort of realized, like, look in the mirror and realize like, oh, there are so many things in your life that you need to fix that you've been ignoring because you just like an outside perspective caught up in your day-to-day. Like I think there's a lot to be gained from that shit. I've been dabbling with shrooms, like, 'cause I never really got into psychedelics, but I'm the same boat. I'm like I've been like wanting to start playing around with all that stuff just to, I mean, like I think you need to be in a good headspace, right? And very like, much, I'm in such a better, healthy headspace now that I'm like, it's like the exact time I should be trying to like figure out myself, figure out what I want to do. You know? I know so many people who take like small amounts of mushrooms now at this point because it's so easy to do that. Whereas like when I was young, 10, 15 years ago, when I was around with mushrooms and stuff, it's like, me and the boys doing mushrooms we're doing a lot of mushrooms and we're going to tweak the out tonight. Yeah. And now it's like my girl and her friends, I'll see them taking like 1 or 2 gummies before we go to a party just to get into like a more lighthearted state of mind, you know, which is probably the healthier way to do it. Oh yeah. I took some this morning. I got this like honey. Yeah. That's like, I don't even know how much is in it, but I'm such a pussy with that shit though. I take like littlest amount and I just slowly take a little bit more each time. But it's pretty cool. I remember I called my friend and I was like driving down like the same bullshit street I'm on, but it's like a beautiful street. It's like palm trees, ocean, whatever. And I'm on the phone. The person who gave me the shrooms, and I'm like, dude, like I've never even really noticed how like beautiful this street, like where I live and shit. And I'm just going on about how beautiful it is. And then the person that's dying, they're like, you took some, didn't you? And I totally just forgot I did. And I'm like, that's exactly the best way to describe it, is you just like appreciate things you don't appreciate before. I took some of those gummies and went to see this band that I absolutely love called the Mountain Goats. And they had like a girl opening for them, like playing guitar and singing and shit. And like the mushrooms just made me actually really sit there, listen to every single song, think about every single lyric, and contemplate like what her life might have been like that got her to this position of opening on this tour, and just like thinking about like, I wonder how happy she is. I wonder like what, you know, and just like a level of like empathy that I don't really get to normally. A lot, like very likely I would have kind of just tuned it out and like looked at my phone or like just not cared. And like,
it's a totally different perspective.
Mushrooms will kind of crack open the walls that you put up.
It's like a filter. Like if you like, you went to that show not on them, and then if you went there on them, it's like you're like seeing it through a different, someone else's eyes or some shit. Yeah,
definitely. I feel like my brain still thinks that doing mushrooms is doing too much mushrooms. So like part of me is still like, yeah, okay, that was cool, but like you should have done like 2 or 3 times as much and seen what that was like, you know, which might actually not be a good idea. 2 or 3 times as much might have made me have
so
not a good time.
So they're 2 different things. Doing a bunch of shrooms and like microdosing is, it's almost 2 different drugs. Like,
and you can just have them on you, so you can just, you know, you're not feeling it, just do a little bit more, you know, because definitely you can kind of get to the point where it feels like that's the thing is like I could take like a couple of the gummies and feel like, oh, this is too much, like the lights are pulsating in the room. You ever go to look at your phone and it like looks blurry when you look at it?
I haven't had that yet. No.
Oh, geez.
I've had the like watching a movie and everything looked like it was glowing or highlighted.
That happened to me at that show where I was like trying to look at, like somebody sent me an image to review on my phone and I was looking at it and I was like, did this send in low res? I responded in the group chat like, yo, this image looks like kind of shitty quality. And then I sort of realized like, oh, fuck, it's because I'm on mushrooms.
I'm low quality.
Yeah, my brain is low quality right now.
That's jokes.
Ralph, relax. Oh, okay, there you go. He's out of here. Shit. Okay.
So yeah, you don't drink at all anymore? Like not even just every once in a while?
No, I haven't. I try to not say the word sober anymore. The amount of people that want to cock shit 'cause you like smoke weed or do shit. So like, I guess I'm not sober, but I just don't drink. But I've been thinking about having a drink soon. Like, it's the whole reason why I stopped drinking is so that I could be able to enjoy drinking, you know? So I just know now it's like you just have such a, I don't know if it's a streak or like actually not missing it, but I don't know. It definitely like you have some good times having a few drinks, you know? It's like I miss the buzz, like just having a drink and having a good night and letting loose a bit. Everything in my life feels pretty robotic, pretty like I almost have like too much structure right now.
I've definitely been in environments where like my girl and all her friends are drinking and dancing at a club and I'm not drinking, but like that feels cool. Like if I'm just hanging out smoking weed and I have like a few of my friends with me, that feels fine. But like if it's just me and the gals and they're all drinking and I'm not, it's kind of like I gotta get on their level. Like I gotta loosen up a little bit. So it's like I probably need to have a few drinks. And also like as much as I don't like drinking, having a couple of drinks is not that big a deal, especially if you trust yourself enough to know that like a few drinks isn't gonna turn into 20 drinks and an 8-ball.
I guess I'm kind of worried about that. It's like, I was such a people pleaser when I drank, so like I would like I liked being like they think I'm not gonna chug that bottle of whiskey. It's like I'm gonna do it, like kind of guy. And I don't know. I just feel like once I open that door of like, well, now I can have a drink. Now I can have multiple drinks. Oh, we're having a good night tonight. Let's just, and then I just don't know if it'll just up everything else. So I don't know.
I went through a lot of my life where I thought it was super cool to drink a shitload and then like not really sleep and then wake up the next day and go and like ride all day or work all day or do whatever. And like, I just thought that was badass.
Like you're an animal or some shit.
Like I can put myself through whatever. I feel like that's like a big part of the allure of young people wanting to get fucked up in the first place is like proving that they can persevere through this challenge. Because you don't really have like everybody's sort of looking for their hero's journey. Like how you're going to go from a boy to a man.